Hey, spent shell hunting and cooking here. We're out here in the goose blind today, but don't fret. I got a great recipe for you. So all that fishing that you did this past summer, all that trout you caught and you froze, put in your freezer, well, pull one out because I got a great trout video for you. Don't go away. Stay tuned. It's coming right up. So hey, folks, here we are. We're going to make our sauteed rainbow trout Provencal. Provencal basically means that this standards were set by the Escoffier, who was a French chef over 100 years ago. He basically wrote the first cookbook, bringing most of the recipes into a commonality. And he set it and dubbed it and still used today as basically olive oil, garlic, tomato, and white wine. And we're going to use some heirloom tomatoes that I grew in my garden out back here, my pot garden. Basically, not marijuana, but I have huge pots that I grew my tomatoes in, which some of us do. So, but you can kind of tell that these are heirlooms. True heirlooms are a little bit lighter in color. They're not real red. They're more orangish. So our ingredients today, as I said, is olive oil, garlic, our heirloom tomatoes, and a little bit of flour, white wine, salt and pepper, and of course our wonderful rainbow trout that we caught this year out of the lake, right? So okay, so let's get to it. So to start, we need to peel and seed our tomatoes. We're going to do that by we take our paring knife, and they actually have cores that you can use there to take those out with for tomatoes. They specifically make them for tomatoes. I just use my knife. I slit the top, take that out, and I very gently slit just the skin coming down the tomato. Sometimes it can be a little tough coming down through there. Good sharp knife. And we'll do it one more time. We'll take off our vine end there, and we start with the flower end. Come straight down through, just like that. So next, in order to peel and seed them, we're going to need to drop these into boiling water. I got about 2 medium and a little bit larger tomato here, and I like to roll them around. Now this does not take very long. You need to keep it at boiling once you drop it in, and wait for the skins to peel back. And as we can see here, the skins, if I take them, I can easily peel them back. We don't want to do it while they're hot. We're going to drop them in some ice water and cool them off. We need to shock them and cool them down immediately. So now that our tomatoes are cooled down, obviously they didn't get boiling hot inside, and that's exactly what we wanted. We just wanted enough to pull that skin off, to loosen that skin up. So we're going to go ahead and take these. We're going to pull this skin right off all the way down to the bottom. So make sure that you can see that. Okay, and then this one's already off on this side, and we'll pull this one off. And what we're going to do is we're going to kind of drill a hole in that vine end side there, and we're going to very gently squeeze it. And as we squeeze it, the seeds come out. Put that to the side, and we'll squeeze one more. I forgot to put my hole in there. And the reason for that hole is it just gives the avenue for the seeds to flow out of and not squirt out all over the top. And one more. So next, we're going to take and we're going to smash our garlic. Just take the back of your knife, smash it down. Pulled off an excess leaf, that's okay. Coming it down, and then we're going to go through and just chop it up. Nothing like fresh garlic. If you can't use fresh garlic, you know, the grocery store sells it chopped in water. There's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you just don't always have the time to do this kind of thing. I even use that. I use it because I don't always have the time to use everything straight out of my garden. So next comes our tomatoes. So what we want to do is we put them back in that bowl here. We're going to bring them out, set them on the cutting board. And we're going to slice them long ways. And the reason for this, it gives us a nice dice. We want to dice these. We don't want to smash them and chop them up real fine. We just want a nice diced tomato. Nice big chunks. One more tomato. And there we go. Next, we have our flour. It doesn't really, none of this really has an amount that doesn't have to be a specific amount. This is kind of a generalized recipe. So we're going to take just a little bit of salt and a little bit of black pepper. And we're going to mix that in to the flour. Give just a hair more salt. And just a touch more pepper. I'm just looking at how much is in it. Stir it up. And we're going to spread it out. Just like that. So at this point, we're going to take our trout. And it's already cleaned. There's a million videos out there on how to clean your trout, how to clean fish and such. So these are, I've already deheaded them, definned them, detailed them, and deboned them. So we got our trout, which by the way is in the salmon family. It's a salmonoid. If you ever see any of the big breeders or the big ones that like the hatcheries, they almost starting to get that hooked bill and stuff. That's because they're a salmonoid. So we're going to take this and we're going to dredge just one side in the flour. I did leave the skin on, and everybody says, "Oh, you left the skin on." Well, that's good. That's where all the oils are, and you don't have to eat the skin. When you cook this correctly, you should be able to take your fork and flake it right off the skin, and then you're keeping all of the we're going to shake it just a little bit, where you're keeping all the essential oils from the fish there, and you're getting it in the bottom of the piece of it that you're eating. If that makes sense to you. It does me. So we're just patting it in there, and then we're going to shake it off just a little bit. We don't want this covered with flour. Just a little bit. The flour is holding going to give us a nice coating, nice crispy coating on the outside, nice color, and it's also going to add some like flavor to it because it browns, and it's holding our seasonings right onto there. So here we go. We're going to go right to the fry pan. So while we were dredging the trout in the seasoned flour, I put on medium heat. You can see the heat there. Just enough olive oil to coat the bottom of the pan. You can use just regular olive oil, you can use extra virgin olive oil, virgin, whatever you prefer. And we're going to test our pan. It's hot. It's ready, and we're going to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our fillets right into that hot oil. And we can start hearing to start hearing it simmer. Wonderful. Now we are going to go ahead and salt and pepper just a little bit at the back of those fillets, because in all actuality you can eat the skin if you like it. And this way the skin gets nice and crispy. So I'm going to zoom in here, and you can see the fish is starting to cook up the sides, and what we're looking for here is to lift it up, and we got a nice caramelized brown on that fish. Wonderful. We're going to flip them over. Finish them on this side. Then we're going to finish it up and make our Provencal sauce. Okay, so that was about 3 to 4 minutes on the flesh side, and then I went about another 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes maybe on the skin side once I flipped them over. And one way to tell if your fish is done, what we want to do is take the thickest part and pull it back, and it should look ivory white the whole way through, no milky looking white. So right now our fish is done. So we're going to remove it from the pan, place it on a plate, turn our heat down just down to medium low. We're going to add our tomatoes, and this is a real quick process. Just a little bit of that garlic. I'm putting that garlic right on top of the tomatoes because I don't want it to brown. If the garlic browns or burns, it gets very bitter. So now we're just going to toss this around just a little bit, just enough to heat it up, because we don't want to cook our tomatoes to mush. And you can see there's a little bit of seeds in there. I could have probably pressed them a little harder, but that's okay. There's not too many in there. Now we're going to hit with our white wine. That's probably 1/8 of a cup. We're going to turn it up on high. We're going to cook it down a little bit. Personal preference of mine, I like to throw just a little bit of chopped parsley into it. Just a little. We're going to let that cook just a little bit. Turn it back down to medium. And we're going to come over here and put our fish on the plate. So now we're going to put our fish onto the plate. And you can serve it just like I had it on the plate and pour it over top, or you can make a nice presentation just like that. And we'll get that one out of there. And we're going to follow it up with our Provencal. So this is what our finished Provencal looks like, if you can see that. Looks really kind of cool with those heirloom tomatoes. I'm used to seeing it with red tomatoes. So we're going to take it and we're going to put that right down the middle. Just like that. Take some of this juice and just kind of pour it all over it there. And there you go. Quick, easy dinner. Not much preparation. We have sauteed rainbow trout Provencal.